Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And I thought with the Wood and Hour films, why not this one? A classic, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Why not? Sort of a love story, sort of a button-ear adventure film, come out in 1985, that being Ladyhawke. I say it again, Ladyhawke. We're going to go with Ladyhawke. It's like I just said, it's a buccaneer, it's a love story, and it's an adventure. So you've got one lad in it who's supposed to be like a professional pickpocket, and if you think you've seen him before, he had his big success in 1986 with the movie Brutish Day Off. Remember right, there could be right in London there. Yep, Brutish Day Off. Very well known film in the mid 80s. So in this, like I say, he's a pickpocket, he's in a dungeon, he breaks out. I love the bit where he breaks out and he falls through water and he swims out to get out the other end. You got this evil wizard who wants to be a king, and he gets out of dodge, but then he bumps into this big brave knight. That does being the late Wood and Hour. And this is like a different role for Wood and Hour. Normally, like I say, Wood and Hour's either a villain or a good guy. And yes, in this, he's a good guy. And it always has me wondering after this, he also the same there, sort of played sort of like a knight, sort of a duddy, sort of a badder, whatever you want to say about the character. Same there, would have been Flesh and Blood by Paul and Holden. So in this, again, it's based on the olden times, and Wood and Hour's like a knight. And he's in love with this woman, but the only thing is, if I remember right, it could be right and wrong, at night he's an orc. Oh, actually, no, I could be right. I'm on that. I think he's the wolf at night and sees an orc at a certain time. So they never meet. If he goes to meet her, he'll turn into a wolf. And if she meets him, she'll turn into an orc. So it's sort of a sad story because they're both in love, but the two, so they never meet one another. If he goes to meet her, she'll be an orc. And if he meets her, he'll turn into a wolf. Vice versa. And it's like a love story where he's in love with Michelle Pfeiffer, like I say, but he's never going to get her. Never in a million years going to get her because of his horrible toes. And he wants to get revenge and kill this evil wizard because if he kills him, it will break the toes and they'll both live happy after. You know what I mean? So he meets a young lad, he wants his help and so on. And halfway through the film, he meets Michelle Pfeiffer. And I've got to admit, Michelle Pfeiffer in this is stunning, she's beautiful. She's one of them actresses that she can have her hair long and have her hair short, whatever, she still looks stunning. She has her hair short in this, and she still looks bloody stunning as anything. She really does. And like I say, again, a different role for Michelle Pfeiffer. You can definitely see she's going to show off her acting talents. And he, like I say, he tries to help him out so he could break the toes. There's a bit in it where Michelle Pfeiffer sees she die hunting wolves. Hopefully there's no cruelty to animals. And she's breaking out thinking if her boyfriend's been killed, being Wood and Hour. I suppose that's not to be. There's a bit where they almost meet, but they change, so they never get to meet, which is kind of sad. And so on. So halfway through the film, it's like saucy, there's a bit of sword fighting, it's a buccaneer adventure film. And he breaks into the castle to attack this evil king who's a sorcerer. He snaps. He doesn't because he's not really that sort of person in this. But the evil sorcerer tries to attack him and Wood and Hour gets a lucky hit. I think right, I can't remember now. Could be right one. I think he falls a sword, kills the wizard, breaks the toes, and it puts them both back. So then Michelle Pfeiffer now compete with Wood and Hour, vice versa to make it fast. So they get to death, they're now in love, happy ending, the end. But I like to say, I kind of like this one. I like this one because it's a love story. It's a bit of an adventure. It's a bit of everything really when you think it's a bit of everything. Like I say, it's a buccaneer adventure film. It's a fantasy film. It's a love story. It's a tragedy because you want them to get to death, and that's what happens. You do at the end. They get to death, and I kind of miss them sort of old school buccaneer, old school adventure feel films. I miss them. And it's like a different role for Wood than our. Like I say, most of his films, or his earlier films, were either like science fiction, like Blade Runner, or there was like fillers, like Nighthawks, and you normally see him play a bad guy. Now and again, you see him play a good guy. Like there was one film what he did before this, where funny enough, he was saving hawks, he was saving eagles from becoming extinct and from poachers and so on. Maybe one day around the world, I'll review that. Come out in '84. Damn good film by Wood Howard, I may add. But this one, if you're into old school Buccaneer adventure films, a Buccaneer adventure feel, you can definitely see over the years why this became a cult classic. You can definitely see why. Because if you're going into it like some of the other Wood Howard films with Fiance, bad language and all that, you're not going to get it. If you're going into it thinking it's going to be sword fights and wizards and magicians and the stuff you see in the old sorcerer and fantasy films, all like Sinbad and all that stuff, you're not going to get that type of feel. So it's disappointing if people think it's going to be like that. But you do get that like a love story. We could definitely see over the years why it became a cult classic. And it's one of these when it came out, sadly to say, when it came out in 1985, it didn't make big money. Wasn't successful. People gave it mixed reviews. But then over the years, it became a cult classic. And I can see why. Maybe back in my heyday, when I was a little bit longer than what I am now, I'd probably look at this and think, this is boring. What the fuck am I, what's in here? But now looking at it, and I remember saying this before when I reviewed this, looking at it with different eyes, this is a damn good film. It's a damn good film. They don't make films like this anymore. If this film was done today, it'd be CDR, actors, see at the back of me, it's called wood. You have actors made out of that. You wouldn't give a shit about the characters because there's no character build up. The love story has much tendency in my ass when I'm having a fart. This, because you've got good actors, good actresses like myself, Pfeiffer, you get that love story. Even though they're only in it for so much of a second here and there, when they finally get to meet, you feel that love story. You feel for Wood Howard. You want Wood Howard to kick this guy's ass because he's a fucking asshole for what he's done, doing his little chores where one turns into a wolf and the one turns into an hawk. I love the wolf in it. Even the wolf is beautiful. Even though it's supposed to be Wood Howard, it's a pretty looking wolf. Even the hawk looks pretty. What else can I say about this film? What else? I like the film. I say you've got good actors, good actresses, and that's what makes films. You don't see that now. You don't see that. What you see is that at the back of me, or CGR shit, another Lord of the Rings. But this one, I liked it. I liked it for what it was. I like the fact it was a Buccaneer adventure film. I didn't repeat myself. They don't make films like this anymore, and it's a damn shame. It really is. So, what am I going to give it? Because they don't make films like this anymore. Fuck it. A 6-star rating from me. But into them, be smart, be safe. I'll do some more Wood Howard films on the way. I'll say it again. Be smart, be safe. See you later.